Guys, hello. Welcome to another episode of Movie McLovers. This is the episode of 3. And this is called Blank, as we have mentioned before. So, today we're going to talk about The Dark Knight. And we're going to ask ourselves if The Dark Knight represents chaos or day-to-day life. Hello, Faisal.
Hello, Amin. So, I'm going to argue that, it is a clear representation of chaos theory in itself. Alfred Pennyworth says it himself by the elegance of Michael Caine's voice himself. Yes. He says, the Joker's not looking for money. He doesn't want power. He doesn't have any sort of materialistic motives. He says some men just want to watch the world burn only for the sake of burning.
I understand that, but don't you think that all the crime that happens in The Dark Knight, sure, in some cases it might be a little bit exaggerated. News, this guy stormed into this building and killed these many men. This guy didn't want money, he just wanted to rape that woman, for example. So this is not an excess in chaos. This is just representing day-to-day life. Events unfold. Sure, we don't have Batman in day-to-day life, but we do have this constant crime that is similar to the characters. Yeah, we have some Jokers in our day-to-day life. There are some very famous Game, Jeffrey Dahmer. They're very famous for skinning their victims and not wanting money or anything, but this thirst for murder which drives them. And that's what happens in The Dark Knight. Joker just loves to murder people. He loves this thing.
But you say, but here's where I disagree with you. You say there's no excess, but he literally frames this Chinese multi-billionaire and burns his entire hoard of money. If you've seen that,
but that's not day-to-day life. I mean that happens. I bet that happens with some
not to that
big
extreme.
Big serial killers.
Here's the thing. It's human nature.
They might not do the same thing. Yeah, it's human nature. That's why it happens in day-to-day life.
But it doesn't. It's human nature because if someone would be confronted by such amounts of money, it's like there is no way. I'm sure I would take it. You would take it. Even the cameraman would take it for all I know. But this clearly shows that but just by burning, such a tempting amount, this is a typical motive. Just by burning that, it shows that there's something more.
But don't you think there's plenty of Jokers in our world? There are plenty of previous serial killers. I'm not necessarily arguing for what he does, but rather for his intentions and who he is. So his intentions are wanting to watch the world burn, as you said. Wanting these things to happen. No money, no power, just liking to murder people. Serial killers have done that constantly. Prison for that. They feel no remorse. Yeah. And that's the Joker. And also, that's his true intentions. His true intention isn't for money, so it's not like his character isn't a representation of chaos, but a representation of the average a serial killer that we have in our society.
But that's exactly what it is. That is what you're explaining is chaos, because these guys they aren't looking for money at all. They're doing it just for the sake of doing it.
That's not necessarily chaos. A lot of people do that. For example, a lot of people get aside from the topic of murder, a lot of people want to get successful. That's not money or power. Just that they want to be successful. Why do murderers murder? Just because they're murderers. That's not chaos. It's not chaos because it happens frequently. Chaos can sometimes be interpreted as, this big thing that happens suddenly, out of the blue. But people have been shocked by several serial killers, but when it happens frequently, the shock becomes less and less frequent.
Sure, but this is generally just the fact that they don't have any motives show that there is chaos, that they don't want anything materialistic, that there's something more. Don't you see it that way?
I don't see the chaotic side of it. Maybe what some of his actions, sure, in our society they'd freak out, wow, chaos, this is unbelievably bad.
Okay.
But his true intentions are not chaotic. Some people actually understand where he's coming from, believe it or not. Some people believe that murdering for money is bullshit, and people believe that murdering for power is also doesn't go by that. He goes by murdering for murdering, the same as other serial killers do. Why don't they feel remorse when they go to prison?
Alright, let me give you a more clear-cut example. You look at Harvey Dent, Gotham's white knight, so to speak. This guy, he starts off with good morals. Yes. He believes in justice. has truly benevolent purpose. But when he gets corrupted by the Joker, you know what? You know what he does? Just like comics, he leaves everything to the fate of a coin. He leaves everything just for the sake
But
of,
that's not necessarily chaotic.
It
That's just
is
human
all in-
personality.
No, but I mean, he clearly shows that, he just really doesn't care, and he just wants things to go very
Aren't
fast.
there many human beings who believe the same, who do go by the same process?
There is no way. If someone really wanted to kill someone, then he'd kill them. He's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna let things go as they are. Whether it happens this.
Isn't necessarily the center of the story. We're not talking about Harvey Dent specifically.
We're talking about the Dark Knight.
Yeah, we're talking about the Dark Knight, and what does Dark Knight show? It shows the daily struggle that people go through with these maniacs who murder for murder. Like, they do it intentionally.
I know.
Oh no, I didn't accidentally kill this guy. I wanted to kill this guy. Well, that's what the Joker shows. That's why it's so frequent nowadays.
I know.
The Dark Knight is not. It's not a superhero movie. Of course, it's a thriller, but it's a look at how society is daily.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's kind of takes it to extremes. No, it's kind of made fictionalized. That's for the purpose of entertainment. But still, most of it is probably very frequent in our society. In some cases.
But not really. If you look at our society, you don't see people like, Billy the Kid and all these serial killers anymore. They aren't anymore. You see people do
What do you mean there aren't anymore?
For power. I mean, not as much.
There are some who do it, and then people don't get shocked by that. They're like, oh, here we go again. That happens in our society. Here we go again. That was Ed Gein, now it's Ted Bundy. Wow. Same thing all over again. Murdering, having no remorse. That's what the Joker does.
Okay, but I mean, if you just look back at Two-Face, just how he just leaves everything as it is. He lets the things go.
Because Two-Face, that happened to him as the result of his of him being basically destructive and basically losing everyone that he loves.
Okay, sure, he's been through all that crap, and now he's.
Oh come on! There are many human beings who lose family members and then end up messing themselves up, killing many others for the misfortune of their family. That's what Harvey Dent did.
No, but he didn't blame everyone. Just when he lost his family, he just went crazy. He just went crazy. The Joker went straight
Batman.
The Joker went straight through his head and corrupted him, just as he did.
He blamed Gordon.
He let things go.
He blamed Gordon. He's like, I'm gonna do the same thing I'm gonna do the same thing to your family that you did to mine.
Well, he left it to the fate of a coin.
But it was always in his favor. All the time he was killing that wannabe Joker, it came on heads, and he was like, oh, let's try again. So he shot, then he killed him. They was about to kill him. The Batman came in. So it's more to do with his interpretation of what's right, not the coin. The coin is just an act. It's not a real intention.
But you don't think it has some sort of symbol in that way that sometimes things just play out in the way that they do?
Not really, because he changed the result. So we've come to a conclusion, and we have disagreed very frequently. So for another episode of Movie McLovers, subscribe, like, all that good stuff.
Right,
Goodbye.
stay tuned.